If you feel like the truth is being kept from us, know that you're not alone. I'm Detective Ozma, and my mission is to dig up the evidence behind the mysteries they want to bury. Today, I'm opening a file that didn't begin with a single sighting, but with a pattern that spread across an entire region, reported by civilians, tracked by the military, and taken seriously at the highest levels of government. Summer, 1946. Scandinavia. What started as isolated lights in the sky quickly turned into something harder to ignore. Witnesses began reporting fast-moving objects crossing the horizon, often described as projectiles or fireballs, appearing without warning and disappearing just as quickly. At first, the reports seemed disconnected. Different locations. Different observers, but the descriptions stayed the same. And as the days passed, the frequency increased. Soon, it wasn't just about what was seen in the sky, but what was happening after. Because some of these objects weren't just passing overhead. They were reportedly falling into lakes, into remote areas. And when search teams arrived, there was nothing there. When I opened this case file, one thing became clear: this wasn't just a series of sightings. It was a pattern that triggered a response, and a question that was never fully answered. Evidence 1, the first wave of sightings. Between May 23 and 24, 1946, multiple witnesses across Sweden reported seeing bright fireball-like objects moving across the sky. According to compiled reports, these objects were described as having tails, similar to rockets or projectiles, traveling at high speed across different regions. In the weeks that followed, dozens of additional sightings were reported, many through civilian channels and local authorities. These early reports are important because they occurred before widespread media coverage, reducing the likelihood of influence between witnesses. Evidence 2, standardized military reporting and investigation. By June 12, 1946, the Swedish military had already formalized the response. According to archived records, a directive was issued instructing units to document all sightings using standardized reporting forms and forward them to Central Command. This marks a transition from isolated observations to organized investigation. Soon after, a dedicated committee was formed, involving military leadership, technical experts, and signal intelligence units. This is documented evidence of a coordinated state-level response to the phenomenon. Evidence 3, radar, intercepts, and reported performance. As reports increased, the investigation expanded beyond visual sightings. According to internal accounts, radar systems began detecting unknown objects, and at least one instance recorded speeds in the range of 400 meters per second. There are also reports of attempted interceptions. In one documented case from August 14, 1946, a Swedish bomber crew attempted to pursue an object described as projectile-like, but, according to the report, the object outpaced the aircraft. These details come from military-linked records and should be treated as reported operational accounts, not independently verified performance data. Evidence 4, the lake impact incidents. One of the most persistent elements in the case involves objects reportedly falling into lakes. In July 1946, a specific incident at Lake Kolmjarv triggered a formal investigation. A military team was dispatched, the area was isolated, and extensive searches were conducted, including the use of detection equipment and large-scale sampling. According to records, disturbances were found on the lakebed, including what was described as a crater-like formation. However, no physical debris was recovered. This pattern, reported impact, visible disturbance, no recoverable material, appears repeatedly in the case file. Evidence 5, international attention and intelligence monitoring. The phenomenon did not go unnoticed outside Sweden. British and American authorities monitored the situation closely. According to archival references, the UK's War Office and Air Ministry opened inquiries into the events, while US intelligence tracked reports through early intelligence agencies. This establishes that the case was not treated as a local anomaly, but as a matter of broader strategic interest during the early Cold War period. And if you've made it this far into the case, you're starting to see the pattern. Multiple sightings. Military involvement. Physical search operations. And still, no clear answer. Hypothesis 1, the conventional interpretation. From a cautious perspective, the events can be explained as a combination of natural and observational factors. Many experts point to meteor activity, particularly during peak periods like the Perseid meteor shower, as a primary explanation for the fireball-like objects seen in the sky. Atmospheric conditions, combined with increased public attention, may have amplified the number of reports and influenced how events were interpreted. In this view, the lake impact reports could result from misjudged trajectories, natural disturbances, or errors in location tracking. Under this interpretation, the phenomenon reflects a convergence of real natural events and human perception under heightened tension. Hypothesis 2, the unresolved interpretation. The alternative interpretation focuses on the scale and consistency of the reports. Multiple witnesses across different regions described similar objects. Military systems reportedly tracked them. Interception attempts were made. And physical search operations were conducted based on specific impact locations. What stands out is not a single unexplained event, but a structured pattern that persisted over time. From this perspective, the phenomenon may represent something not fully accounted for, whether experimental technology, misidentified but uncommon events, or something that remains outside current classification. Not proof of any extraordinary origin, but a case where investigation did not fully resolve what was observed. The ghost rockets of 1946 remain one of the most documented and debated aerial phenomena of the post-war era. I'm Detective Ozma, and I'll keep gathering every fragment, every testimony, and every piece of evidence they try to erase. Many stories get buried, but never forever. If this case made you question what we really know, take a second to leave a like on the video. It helps keep this investigation going and brings more of these files to the surface. If you, or someone you know, has ever witnessed something unexplainable, leave your story in the comments. Or, if you'd rather stay anonymous, send it to the email pinned below. Who knows, maybe the next file I open will be yours.